During this video, we're going to cover some of the common frequently asked questions that we get. First one is, how do the players pay? So the players pay the game manager directly. We do not collect any money for the squares through our website. They need to pay you directly, however you wish. That could be cash, Venmo, Cash App, whatever is easiest for you. When I click on print board or print player list, nothing happens. That's because this displays a pop-up window inside of your browser. And if you don't see a window, that means your browser is not allowing pop-ups. So you need to look for a pop-up warning on your browser to allow pop-ups. Here's what this looks like inside of my browser. I click on print player list. It doesn't work. If I look up here inside of my URL bar, I notice this little window where it says pop-ups are blocked on this page. So I simply click on that. Then I allow pop-ups. Then I click on done. That might look a little bit different. On some browsers, you'll notice that the button will be over here on this side instead. So look for a little icon that looks similar to that. Then once you allow it, we can click on print player list once again. And now we can see the pop-up window. I set up my pool to enter the person's name who sold the square. How do I see that information? So to see that, you want to come inside of your game and you want to click on print player list over here on the right-hand side. And when you click on that, that's going to open up a little pop-up window of your players. And if you have that option turned on, you'll see it says sold by over here on the right-hand side. And whoever they enter that sold them the square, that name will appear here. So you can jump in here and tally up those marks there. Can I pick squares if someone doesn't want to create a login and pick their own squares? Yes, all you have to do is use the pick squares for players button that you see right here. Then once you click on that, you need to add the player information on the right-hand side, then click on add. And then once you add that, you need to select that new player from the drop-down list here. And once you have that selected, then you can select their squares over here on the left-hand side. Can I have different numbers for each quarter or each half? Yes, so when you are setting up your game, if we go inside of edit pool information, when you are creating it, you can choose that option here. You can have one set of numbers for the entire game, new numbers each half, or new numbers each quarter, and then make sure you save your changes. Should I close or lock the board before generating the numbers? You don't have to if you are ready to generate your numbers. If the board is full and you are not ready to generate the numbers, then you can choose to close and lock the board so that players can't make any changes to the squares that they've selected. Players can't select squares. So typically that means that you have already generated the numbers, which locks the board automatically. If you have the touchdown plan, you can clear the numbers yourself. If not, you will need to email help@footballsquaresonline.com with your game number, which you can find right here, and we will clear the numbers for you. Another reason you closed or you locked the board, or they have previously selected the maximum number of squares allowed per player. I'm setting up a pool for the Super Bowl, but I don't know what teams will be participating yet. How do I set up the pool? So simply, when you are creating your pool, instead of entering the names here, let's say we call this Super Bowl pool. And for Team 1 and Team 2, you can simply just enter AFC and NFC, just like so. Then we click on Save Changes. Then, as the Super Bowl rolls around and we learn which teams will be in the Super Bowl, you can come back inside of here. You can then go to edit your pool information and then make changes and enter the team names here and then click on Save Changes. Thanks again for watching this tutorial. And as always, if you have any questions or need any help at all, you can simply send an email to help@footballsquaresonline.com or you can call us at 405-858-8632. Thanks again, and I'll see you in the next video.